Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the monthly movie preview show for November 2016. I'm Jeff Malicki, and on this show I'll tell you about all the movies that are hitting a theater near you this month. There are 15 wide releases that we'll be talking about today, starting this coming Friday, November 4th, which sees the release of Doctor Strange, Hacksaw Ridge, and Trolls. First, let's talk about Doctor Strange. Dr. Stephen Strange's life changes after a car accident robs him of the use of his hands. When traditional medicine fails him, he looks for healing and hope in a mysterious enclave. He quickly learns that the enclave is at the front line of a battle against unseen dark forces bent on destroying reality. Before long, Strange is forced to choose between his life of fortune and status, or leave it all behind to defend the world as the most powerful sorcerer in existence. Doctor Strange is the latest movie in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Rachel McAdams, Benedict Wong, Mads Mikkelsen, and Tilda Swinton. The movie is rated PG-13 for sci-fi violence and action throughout, and an intense crash sequence. Next is Hacksaw Ridge. The true story of Private First Class Desmond T. Doss, who won the Congressional Medal of Honor despite refusing to bear arms during World War II on religious grounds. Doss was drafted and ostracized by fellow soldiers for his pacifist stance, but went on to earn respect and adoration for his bravery, selflessness, and compassion after he risked his life without firing a shot to save 75 men in the Battle of Okinawa. Hacksaw Ridge sees Mel Gibson direct Andrew Garfield, Sam Worthington, Vince Vaughn, Hugo Weaving, Teresa Palmer, and Milo Gibson. Hacksaw Ridge is rated R for intense, prolonged, realistically graphic sequences of war violence, including grisly, bloody images. The third movie being released November 4th is Trolls. Poppy, the optimistic leader of the Trolls, and Branch, her polar opposite, embark on an adventure that takes them far beyond the only world they've ever known. Trolls stars the voice talent of Anna Kendrick, Justin Timberlake, Zooey Deschanel, Russell Brand, Gwen Stefani, and John Cleese. Trolls is rated PG for some mild, rude humor. November 11th sees the release of Almost Christmas, Arrival, and Shut-In. First up is Almost Christmas. A beloved patriarch asks his family members for one gift this holiday season: to get along. If they can honor that wish and spend 5 days under the same roof without killing one another, it will be a Christmas miracle. Almost Christmas stars Kimberly Elise, Omar Epps, Danny Glover, John Michael Higgins, Romany Malco, and Monique. It is rated PG-13 for suggestive material, drug content, and language. Next is Arrival. Linguistics professor Louise Banks leads an elite team of investigators when humongous spaceships touch down in 12 locations around the world. As nations teeter on the verge of global war, Banks and her crew must race against time to find a way to communicate with the extraterrestrial visitors. Hoping to unravel the mystery, she takes a chance that could threaten her life and quite possibly all of mankind. Arrival stars Amy Adams, Jeremy Renner, and Forrest Whitaker. It is rated PG-13 for brief, strong language. The third film being released November 11th is Shut-In. Following a recent accident that took the life of her husband and left her son paralyzed, a female psychologist finds herself isolated in her own home, caring for her child. Cut off from the outside world during a deadly storm, she starts to believe someone is inside her house trying to harm them. Shut-In stars Naomi Watts, Charlie Heaton, Jacob Tremblay, and Oliver Platt. Shut-In is rated PG-13 for terror and some violence/bloody images, nudity, thematic elements, and brief, strong language. Moving on to November 18th, which sees the release of Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk, Bleed for This, The Edge of 17, and Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. First up is Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. 19-year-old Private Billy Lynn, along with his fellow soldiers in Bravo Squad, becomes a hero after a harrowing Iraq battle and is brought home temporarily for a victory tour. Through flashbacks, culminating in the spectacular halftime show of the Thanksgiving Day football game, what really happened to the squad is revealed, contrasting the realities of the war with America's perceptions. The movie is based on the novel by Ben Fountain. Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk is directed by Ang Lee and stars Kristen Stewart, Chris Tucker, Garrett Hedlund, Vin Diesel, Steve Martin, and newcomer Joe Alwyn. It is rated R for language throughout, some war violence, sexual content, and brief drug use. Next is Bleed for This. Vinny, the Tasmanian Devil Pazienza, a local Providence boxer, shoots to stardom after winning 2 world title fights. After a near-fatal car accident leaves him with a broken neck, he is told he may never walk again. Against all odds and doctor's orders, renowned trainer Kevin Rooney agrees to help Vinny return to the ring just a year after the accident for what could be the last fight of his life. Based on a true story. Bleed for This stars Miles Teller, Aaron Eckhart, Katie Seagal, and Christine Evangelista. The movie is rated R for language, sexuality/nudity, and some accident images. The third film being released November 18th is The Edge of 17. Everyone knows that growing up is hard, and life is no easier for high school junior Nadine, who is already at peak awkwardness when her all-star older brother Darian starts dating her best friend Krista. All at once, Nadine feels more alone than ever, until an unexpected friendship with a thoughtful teen gives her a glimmer of hope that things just might not be so terrible after all. The Edge of 17 stars Haley Steinfeld, Woody Harrelson, and Kyra Sedgwick. It is rated R for sexual content, language, and some drinking, all involving teens. The final film being released November 18th is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. The year is 1926, and Newt Scamander has just completed a global excursion to find and document an extraordinary array of magical creatures. Arriving in New York for a brief stopover, he might have come and gone without incident were it not for a nomad, American for Muggle, named Jacob, a misplaced magical case, and the escape of some of Newt's fantastic beasts, which could spell trouble for both the wizarding and nomad worlds. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them sees David Yates direct a screenplay by J.K. Rowling. The movie stars Eddie Redmayne, Ezra Miller, Colin Farrell, Ron Perlman, and Jon Voight. It is rated PG-13 for some fantasy action violence. 4 new movies are being released the day before Thanksgiving, including Allied, Bad Santa 2, Moana, and Rules Don't Apply. First up is Allied. In 1942 North Africa, intelligence officer Max Vatin encounters French resistance fighter Marianne Beauséjour on a deadly mission behind enemy lines. Reunited in London, their relationship is threatened by the extreme pressure of the war. Allied stars Brad Pitt, Marion Cotillard, Jared Harris, Daniel Betts, and Marion Bailey. It is directed by Robert Zemeckis. Next is Bad Santa 2. Fueled by cheap whiskey, greed, and hatred, Willie Soak teams up with his angry little sidekick Marcus to knock off a Chicago charity on Christmas Eve. Along for the ride is chubby and cheery Thurman Merman, a 250-pound ray of sunshine who brings out Willie's sliver of humanity. Mommy issues arise when the pair are joined by Willie's horror story of a mother, Sunny Soak, who raises the bar for the gang's ambitions while somehow lowering the standards of criminal behavior. Bad Santa 2 stars Billy Bob Thornton, Kathy Bates, Tony Cox, Christina Hendricks, and Brett Kelly. It is rated R for crude sexual content and language throughout, and some graphic nudity. Next is Moana. An adventurous teenager sails out on a daring mission to save her people. During her journey, Moana meets the once mighty demigod Maui, who guides her in her quest to become a master wayfinder. Together they sail across the open ocean on an action-packed voyage, encountering enormous monsters and impossible odds. Along the way, Moana fulfills the ancient quest of her ancestors and discovers the one thing she always sought, her own identity. Moana stars the voice talent of Dwayne Johnson, Alui Cravalho, Jermaine Clement, and Alan Tudyk. The film is rated PG for peril, some scary images, and brief thematic elements. The final film being released before Thanksgiving is Rules Don't Apply. Small-town beauty queen and devout Baptist Marla Mabry, under contract to the infamous Howard Hughes, arrives in Los Angeles. At the airport, she meets her driver, Frank Forbes, only 2 weeks on the job and also from a religiously conservative background. Their instant attraction not only puts the religious convictions to the test, but also defies Hughes' #1 rule: no employee is allowed to have an intimate relationship with a contract actress. Rules Don't Apply stars Warren Beatty, who also directed the movie. He is joined by Lily Collins, Alden Ehrenreich, Annette Bening, Matthew Broderick, Alec Baldwin, Haley Bennett, and Candice Bergen. It is rated PG-13 for sexual material, including brief strong language, thematic elements, and drug references. One movie is being released on Black Friday, and that is Miss Sloane. In the high-stakes world of political power brokers, Elizabeth Sloane is the most sought-after and formidable lobbyist in D.C. Known equally for her cunning and her track record of success, she always has done whatever is required to win. However, when she takes on the most powerful opponent of her career, she finds that winning might cost her too much. Miss Sloane stars Jessica Chastain, Mark Strong, and John Lithgow. It is rated R for language and some sexuality. So there you have it, guys. Those are all the major releases coming to a theater near you in November. There are also some movies seeing limited release, including Loving, Manchester by the Sea, and Jackie, all of which have some Oscar buzz surrounding them. What movies are you looking forward to seeing this month? Let me know in the comment section down below. As for me, there are a bunch that I'm anticipating, including Doctor Strange and Hacksaw Ridge this weekend. Arrival is definitely intriguing as well. Despite the secrecy surrounding the film, there's not a whole lot known about it. One reviewer that I trust, though, has it in his top 5 films of the year, so I'm definitely looking forward to that one. I'm also really looking forward to returning to the wizarding world of Harry Potter and seeing Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Thank you so much as always for watching. You guys are the best. If you liked this video, please go ahead and click that thumbs up button. That really helps me out a lot. And then make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel here so you don't miss any of my other videos. You can find me online at Jeffito'sMovieBlog.com, on Facebook at Jeffito'sMovieBlog, and on Twitter simply at Jeffito'sBlog. All those social media links can be found down below in the description like always. And I'll be back soon with more movie reviews. Until next time, I'll see you at the movies. Bye-bye.